Hey, one of the sponsors of today's video is giving away an entire tube of American Silver Eagles to one of you guys watching right now. So stay tuned till the end of the video to find out how to get your grubby little mitts on that free 20 ounces worth of American Silver Eagles. Whatnot is the sponsor of the Silver Picker YouTube channel, and Spotlight Bullion is the sponsor of today's video. Thank you both for your support. Hello everybody, Silver Picker here, and in today's video, I am going to be tier ranking every single type of gold bullion out there. And that should give you an idea of maybe what you might want to invest in or what you might want to avoid. So let's hop right into it with our first coin, which is the, I could say, gold standard of gold bullion, and that is the Krugerrand. The Krugerrand is a 1 ounce gold coin right out of South Africa. It is pure gold, 999 fine gold, and the reason why it's so great is because it is iconic. Ask your mom, ask your dad, I guarantee you they've heard of the gold Krugerrand. Even if they have nothing to do with precious metals, even if they've never invested in gold their entire life, most people have heard of the Krugerrand. And that's why I put it squarely at A. The more people who know about a particular type of gold bullion, the easier it's going to be to sell, the more liquid it'll be, and that is a critical piece of investing in gold. Next up is another world gold bullion coin, a government gold bullion coin, and that is the Canadian maple leaf. Now, there's a reason why people love this, and admittedly, it is kind of a gimmick, and that is that the Canadian maple leaf has 9999. That's 49. Does that matter in any way, shape, or form practically? No, of course not. But people like it. It also is a beautiful coin. It has a gorgeous, gorgeous design. It is respected and well known the world over, and for that reason, I also put it in the A tier. Next up is for my American audience, which is most of you guys, we have that classic American gold eagle. Now, specifically, I'm talking about the modern coins. I'm talking about modern gold eagles. And you might be surprised, hot take here, I don't love them. And it's not because there's anything inherently wrong with them, right? They're 24 karat gold, they're 999, fine gold, 1 ounce. They've got smaller versions as well, fractional gold, but I don't like them as much as I like the Krugerrand or as much as I like the Canadian maple. Now, this is admittedly preference, right? Like, this could easily go in the A tier, but because there are other good alternatives for American government gold, which we'll get to in a minute, I don't love it, and that's why I'm actually putting it in the B tier. Now, if any of you guys disagree with me, put it in the comments below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if I miss any gold pieces that you think should be on this list, put it in the comments, let me know, let's fight about it. Next up, now there are lots of other government issue gold coins. There are Philharmonicas from Austria, there are gold koalas from Australia, there are gold pandas from China, Libertads from Mexico, etc., etc. But I didn't want to go through literally every single one of them, so I sort of put those all in a catch-all category, and those, I like them a lot, but they generally have very high premiums. They're not necessarily as popular, and they have a much smaller market, so they're a little bit less liquid, and that's the reason I put it in B. Now, it's still great. It's still government issue 1 ounce gold coins. They're fantastic. I think they are a great place to invest, especially if you can get a good deal. By the way, I should caveat all this, right? If you get some of this stuff for below spot, for example, it doesn't matter what you get. You're getting a great deal no matter what, so you should go for it, right? Next up, we've got our first, pretty shady item. But before we do, let's take a minute to thank one of the sponsors of today's video, which is Spotlight Bullion. While we're still talking about gold bullion coins, let's talk about Spotlight Bullion. Now, if you haven't heard of Spotlight Bullion, you gotta check it out. Basically, what they are is they are a price aggregator of all the different types of gold bullion out there. They have over 1,000 different product listings on their website. And what they do, they're not actually selling you the gold, but they are providing you with an invaluable service. They go across the entire internet and they take all the different prices from all the online bullion dealers and they aggregate them in one place so you can see what the best price for that particular gold item or silver item that you want to buy. Now, let's say we want to buy a specific type. We can go over here, take a look at the gold. So we click on gold Krugerrand, we're considering buying it, and take a look. It has all of these different bullion stores online, and you can find out what the price is. And on top of that, it tells you what the premium over spot is. So you can see what the lowest premium, best price is at a glance. You don't have to spend hours doing crazy research. This website is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it. And like I said at the beginning of the video, they are giving away an entire roll of American Silver Eagles. That's 20 ounces of silver for free. They're going to be announcing announcing the winners on May 31st. So click on the link in the description below, check out the website, try it out for yourself, and find out more details on their website how to win that incredible prize. So thank you to Spotlight Bullion for sponsoring today's video. Now, back to our tier list. Okay, the next thing that we were going to talk about is this little vial of gold flakes. If you've been in the precious metals or coins world long enough, you definitely have seen this pesky little critter. This pesky little critter is nothing bad at first glance, right? It's just a small vial full of gold flakes. We know it's not that heavy, we know there's not that much gold in it, but what's wrong with it, right? What's the harm? Well, the harm is that there are so many fakes out there where they actually use gold-plated plastic flakes instead of real gold, and they rip people off. They are absolutely worthless, and that is why I give the gold vials an F. They are oftentimes found in coin grab bags. They are absolutely worthless. They belong in the trash. Gold jewelry. We've got a picture of a little ring here, and that's representative of all gold jewelry, 10 carats all the way up to 18 carats. I love it. Maybe people are surprised about that because I'm such a coin guy, but I absolutely love gold jewelry. I think it is an incredible place to park some cash, right? Let's say you're planning on investing in gold. You want a couple ounces of gold, you know, for a rainy day, SHTF situation, whatever your reason for investing in physical gold is. There are lots of good reasons. You can get a chunky bracelet, a necklace, rings, earrings, whatever you like, and you can actually use that and enjoy it in your daily life, right? The only reason why I'm not giving it an S tier is because it is usually fairly high premium and there's a lot of fakes out there. Okay, here we go. I think this is going to surprise nobody, but right now we've got a $20 St. Gaudens double eagle that we're looking at to represent all of pre-1933 gold. Now, pre-1933 gold refers to the gold coins that were actually in circulation in the United States prior to 1933. I love them. It mixes both of my favorite elements of this world, which is coin collecting, so numismatics. They have rare dates, they have rare mint marks, the condition matters, but it's also a chunky piece of gold bullion. They're all 90% gold, so you've got 9/10 of, 9 out of 10 parts is gold. So it's 900 gold as opposed to 999, and I absolutely love it. Yes, you can find them with higher premiums, but some of them, if you're not looking for the best condition, you're not looking for a rare date, you can actually get them for even lower premiums sometimes than the gold American Eagles that are brand new. And that's why I like them, 10 out of 10 times I'm going to choose pre-33 gold over modern American bullion. And I love it. People love it. It is super liquid, very easy to sell, recognized the world over. It's iconic, it's classic, and you can already tell this is a straight up S tier. Straight up S tier. You don't agree with me? Fight me on it in the comments. We're going straight to F tier again. These are these gold grain cards. They're really popular on eBay and grab bags. I see them all over the place for years and years and years. Basically, it is a laminated plastic card, and there are different variations of this, but it is 1 grain of gold, not 1 gram of gold. It's worth like $4 or something, and they routinely sell for like 10 or 15. You're not going to be able to make much money off of it. It is a gimmick. That ain't it. F tier all day long. Next up is something that might be a little controversial because I actually like it, but I am going to give it a low tier ranking, and this is the gold Coca-Cola cap coin from Fiji. This is the Israeli one for Coca-Cola, but this is representative of all what I would say like gimmick or pop culture gold bullion. These are gold bullion pieces that have, licensed pop culture imagery on them, or they're artistic. They're basically art bars. They're basically, for the enjoyment of the design. And sometimes they can be great. And I really like how they look. I think they're really cool. In fact, I love this one in particular. But in terms of its investability, it's not great. I gotta give it a C tier. I would give it a D tier, but there is a cool factor, and part of the reason why people invest in physical precious metals is because there is a hobby element to it. So that's why I bump it up from a D tier to a C tier. Next up, we've got gold nuggets. Yes, gold nuggets pulled right out of the ground, right out of a mine, are highly collectible, and some people invest in them. Now, I don't particularly like them because I actually see it more as like an antiquities or a geological, I don't even know what to call it, like rock collector thing more than a precious metals investor or a coin collector or numismatics or anything like that. Even though it's obviously a big chunk of natural gold, I actually don't love them. I see it being very, very high premiums. It's almost considered like an art piece. Like they sell at auction, like the really big ones, they sell at auction for tremendous amounts of money. And obviously if you find one in the ground, right, you mine it yourself, amazing. That's literally free gold. But in terms of buying it to invest, I actually give it a D tier. Next up, we have Indian gold jewelry. Yes, we're not just talking about the normal gold jewelry that I was talking about earlier that's 10K, 14K, or 18K, which we're accustomed to in the US and Europe and other parts of the world. But in India, gold jewelry is an incredibly important part of their culture. It's an incredibly important part of their financial culture. And for years and years and years, hundreds of years, centuries, right? Indians have been using gold as a means of storing wealth in the form of jewelry. And Indian gold jewelry is typically 22 karat, right? So if our highest in the US, for instance, that you're gonna find at any jewelry store is 18 karat, you're getting significantly more gold with Indian gold. And I have a lot of people who follow my YouTube channel who are from India that talk about how they have a lot of their wealth in this Indian-made gold and that it's beautiful, high quality, etc. I'm a huge fan of it. I've never owned any of it myself, but I'm putting it right up there in the A tier as well, alongside all the other gold, right? Next up, my beloved Goldbacks. You've seen me talk about Goldbacks on my channel for years. If you don't know what Goldbacks are, you can check it out in the card over here. I made a video about it years ago. And basically what it is this company, Goldback Inc.'s desire to create a physical gold currency that sort of competes with the US fiat currency, right? They believe that currency should be backed by hard money, and not just backed by hard money, but literally be hard money. Goldbacks are pieces of currency that are literally made out of physical gold. And yes, there are lots and lots of businesses, hundreds of businesses that are on their website advertising that they actually accept Goldbacks for their goods and services. I'm talking about car dealerships, dentists, accountants, artists, etc. I absolutely give them A tier. Now, I understand that some people see them more as a gimmick and they're not necessarily for investment purposes because they do have fairly high premiums because of their collectability. I understand you might disagree with that, but because of their place in sort of the gold community and what they're doing sort of to the world at large in terms of their mission of creating a physical gold currency that can actually be used as opposed to being like a goblin from Harry Potter carrying around a satchel full of gold coins, right? You can actually have these in your wallet. So I think that they're great, and I'm a big fan. Next up, generic gold bullion coins, right? These are ones that are not issued by a government. I should say they're gold rounds, actually. They're not issued by a government, they're issued by private mints, and I am not a fan at all. I actually give these a D tier. And the reason why I give them a D tier is because it's not like they're going to have a premium that's, or a negative premium, I should say, a discount from the spot price, right? They're going to have a premium over the spot price. And yes, it'll be slightly less than what you might find on a government issue gold coin, but it's not enough to make it worth getting, right? Well, we have world gold coins. So I sort of put this in one category, and we're talking about like, gold francs from France, Austrian gold coins, gold coins from anywhere around the world. Also from that like pre-1933 era. Of course, some countries issued gold coins, far after that, but I'm talking about the older gold coins that were actually used in everyday commerce, not bullion coins produced in the modern era for investors. I love these. I think that they're great. I wouldn't quite put them at S tier or A tier. I'm probably gonna, I think they belong in B tier, and the reason is because they're great. They're relatively low premium compared to some of their more modern counterparts and the more popular stuff. They're fractional, meaning you don't have to sink $2,000 into one gold coin. They do have the collectible element, and they are fun. I like the history of it. I cannot pretend that I will not separate the fact that there is a collecting element and an investing element to buying gold bullion and physical gold in general. Next up, we've got poured gold bars. I like gold bars if they are from a reputable brand, like let's say like Credit Suisse, for instance, or Valcambi, or something that's well known. I think they're great. I've never actually owned any poured gold bars. I think they're really beautiful, but they are pretty high premium, and that's why I'm going to probably put them in C, because when you have a limited amount of money and you have to choose what you're going to spend your money on, I wouldn't want to pay an extra high premium for a poured gold bar. If I'm going to put money into a premium, I'd rather it be pre-33 gold or government issue gold bullion, or of course jewelry, right? And while we're on that topic, let's look at these 1 gram gold bars. Now, depending on what they are, I actually like them for certain purposes, right? Like they're very nice to get people into investing in gold, right? They're usually $100 or so, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more depending on the price of gold. And they are, you know, just a little fractional piece of gold. I don't think they're amazing. I don't think they're horrible. I give them a B tier. They're nothing special, but they're also, you know, perfectly fine. And and the one thing that they do have going for them is that it has a low entry point. You can pay, you know, $100, $200, and get yourself some gram or 2 gram gold bars. We're coming up to the end. We also have these gold bars that are machine stamped gold bars, so not poured. And these can be from Valcambi, these can be from Credit Suisse, these can be PAMP. I'm not talking, by the way, about like really generic gold bars that nobody's heard of. I'm talking about the main companies, and I think these are great. I personally prefer coins and, you know, government issue coins and pre-33 gold, but there's nothing actually wrong with them. I'm only putting them in the B tier because I prefer other stuff, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Very easy to sell, very liquid, fantastic. But the only reason they get a B is because I think there are stuff that's more fantastic. We're coming up to the last two, and some of them are a little bit weird, but right now we're going to look at one particular gold coin from around the world. It's a very, very popular one, and it is, of course, the British gold sovereign. British gold sovereigns are great. I think they're beautiful. It was actually my first gold coin that I ever got out in the wild. I bought it at a garage sale. I didn't even know what it was at the time, and man, did I make bank on that. But I love them. I think they're fantastic, but I actually am putting them in a C tier, not because there's anything wrong with them in and of themselves, but because there's no differentiation other than the size and the weight between a one sovereign coin and a half sovereign coin. It's so annoying to sell online. It's so annoying because you can't just tell by the pictures. Even if you write one sovereign and you find out later that it's a half sovereign because the seller didn't know, they might not even be trying to rip you off, they just don't realize. And that makes it very annoying. The fact that you have to whip out a scale to determine whether or not you've got a one sovereign or a half sovereign coin, that's not great. It makes it much less liquid, it makes it much more annoying to deal with, even though it's actually a great coin and it's a beautiful coin. But it's getting a C tier from me. And then this is the weirdest one, and some of you might be like, why the heck did you put this on the list? These are gold teeth. Yes, actual teeth pulled out of you know, your granddaddy's mouth. And yes, I have them on the list because in real life I've bought them not just once, but many times. Yes, back in the day when people would have gold capped teeth after they passed away, or sometimes they would fall out and they'd have to be replaced, people would keep them because it is a lot of gold. They're very expensive, right? Do I like buying them? No. Plus they also have, like, you know, enamel and tooth matter in them, and for that reason they're getting a D. They're really weird. You can get them for a good deal if you're buying collections and people have them, but they're creepy, they're gross, and they're a lot of work to deal with. So that's why they get a D, but at least they make it onto the list. So anyway, what did you guys think? I had so much fun with this video. I love ranking precious metals. I love ranking coins. I have a couple of other videos in the series. You can check it out in the card over here and enjoy. And like I said, I want to hear your thoughts. Did I leave something off the list? Do you think I made a mistake here? I mean, I only put one type of bullion piece in the S tier. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, again, a big thank you to our sponsors, Spotlight Bullion. Check out their website, check out the link, and of course, our regular sponsor, Whatnot. The links are below for that as well. You can get $15 in Whatnot credit to spend on anything you want, gold, silver, or otherwise. So I really hope you enjoyed. If you like these kind of videos, hit the subscribe button, throw me a like, do all that YouTube stuff. But I got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silver Picker out. A huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. If you're not yet a patron, join the Patreon, the links are below, and you'll get access to my private Discord group in which all sorts of collectors come together to talk shop, talk coins, and just have a good time.